Serendipitous. Happy Saturday morning. Whoop, whoop. We are headed to the end of March. And for those of you that are Serendipitous 2025 VIP members, I think you've been waiting for the end of March to come. Next Saturday is the fifth Saturday of 2025. And those of you that bought your VIP 2025 membership box knows what that means. And it means discounts, discounts, discounts. You will receive an email if you have not already. Steve is shaking his head. It hasn't went out yet. It'll go out today. The members their email will go out today. Let me correct that. Not a newsletter. This is an email going direct to those of you that bought a VIP 2025 membership box. You will get an email today with all of your reminders for the 5th Saturday of the month specials. One thing that I do want to verbalize, but it'll be in the email, you have to have your lanyard and you have to have your Serendipitous bag to get that discount. If you leave it at home, you leave it in the car, you left it at the beach, unfortunately, you cannot get the discount in the shop. That is the only way employees will know that you are a true VIP. So please, please, please remember your lanyard and your bag. With that being said, there's something else peculiar happened. As you guys know, the box this year was the Peculiar Ladies, and Steve has done it yet again. I think he had requests for this, to be honest with you. This is the Peculiar Ladies license plate. Super fabulous. It is UV resistant and just amazing. Can I slide it out? Mm-hmm. He says, yes, slide it out. There you go, guys. This is the very first Peculiar Ladies, actually first license plate that Steve has done, other than maybe he did some from real estate. But in Serendipitous quilting world, this is the first. It is lovely. So it's got your little friends on there, the Peculiar Ladies of the Misfit Quilt Guild, and there's the back. And here in the Carolinas, I don't know about what states you live in, but we're only required one license plate, so you can have a fun second one. In Virginia, I do know it's license plate on the front, license plate on the back. They're no fun. But in the Carolinas, you can, and we have many Peculiar Ladies that all across the U.S. that have really enjoyed Steve's creativity with these ladies. So if your state allows you a second plate, or if it doesn't, put it up in your quilt room. Super fabulous. That is new. That literally just landed a day or two ago. Before I get into some other stuff, I want to bring y'all's attention to the WIP Wrangling Event. This is on April the 22nd and 23rd. This is a 2-day event, kind of like a mini retreat, if you will, that we're doing here in the shop to help you guys get your works in progress completed. Now, with that being said, if you went online and read the details, there's a sentence here that says, and I'm looking for it, fun challenges and raffles for exciting prizes. Now, I'm just going to say, I did giggle when we were coming up with everything for this. I'm like, if someone brings a work in progress in here from like 1985 or something, I'm thinking they need a prize if they still held on to it that long and now they're completing it. But it's just a great time. If you're looking to meet quilty friends and you're struggling doing that in your community, this is a great way. Pop in for this 2-day event. You get to leave your sewing station up for both days, so you don't have to pack and unpack at the end of the first night for the second day. Just a great way to cheer each other on and get some whips in progress. So Steve is semi an inspiration for this because he's over here frowning and going like, I am. So he started his first quilt, I think he said 3 years ago. I feel like it was during the pandemic or before the pandemic.
It was. We opened that January and I started it in February.
Oh, well, he should have known better trying to start a quilt or learn to quilt and opening up a new brick and mortar facility. But anyway, he just finished the quilt top 2 weekends, I think, ago. He's in the process of working on his backing, and of course, we'll get that quilted. So he finished one of his 3-year-plus old whips. You guys can do it too, and what better place than here at Serendipitous?
Can I just say how cute Matilda looks?
I should have just said that.
We just got to point this out.
I think she looks like a fabulous rodeo clown, and she really is trying to wrangle in the cats. I think it is fabulous. Her stockings is my favorite part. But yes, Steve, thank you for saying that. Now, I'm just going to say, if you come up in here with your cowboy hat or maybe a little lasso or something, it is a theme event, guys. Prizes are available. That's all I'm going to say about that. One other new thing that's in the shop that I want to show, super fun, the Farm and Garden tea towels from Kathy Holding. Super cute. This has 3 in it. Steve, I don't know if it'll glare with the plastic. There's 3 different tea towels, very vintagey. I love tea towels, and I love when they have the old feel and look of feed sacks. So we do have these available. I think they're on the website as well. He's shaking his head. They're not on the website. So if you're not local, you know to message me, put something in the comments, shoot me an email, and we will get you taken care of. Now, last but not least, and speaking of last, we are running out of these. If you were at the Charlotte Quilt Show, I've had these for a while, held them back for something special, and we decided to pull them out for the quilt show. These were panels that Lewis and Irene had. Their designer, Delphine Brooks, she did these fabulous panels with all different kinds of animals on it. And then there was these splotches of fabric throughout. Now, if you notice, the animal is a sketch, right? Then if you look down in the bottom corner of the panel, it'll show the animal in a completed version as you collage the fabric on, right? So, with that being said, welcome to Serendipitous, guys. So, here is one of the ones we had. Now, don't hate me. This is the Highland Cow. We are out of the Highland Cow, but it is just a way to show you something that was done with this panel. Susan Morgan decided to put it on a denim jacket. It was cut out and appliqued on. So much fun. Now, with that being said, I want to show you real quick. So what you do is you cut your fabrics out. You put your fusible on the back of your fabric pieces. You can see how these were started. Okay. And then, and she just used Heat Bond Light. Thank you, Susan, for leaving me a piece with the name on it. But any fusible would work. But she just happened to use Heat Bond Light. Once you have this, and let's say if I want his nose pink, I am literally going to go, if you have a light box, it really helps. Before I had a light box, I used to put it on the window and draw from the sunlight. But with the light box, that sketch of his nose is going to come up. You draw it on. I'm sure you guys have done this before. You draw it on, cut it out, tail this, put it on, press. That is it. Guys, with that being said, all I have left literally is what you see in this basket. I do have Mr. Piggy, Rooster, actually I'm gonna lay him like that, the goat. Oh, that's it. That's the only 3 I have left. I had picked up a second goat. Welcome to Serendipitous. So guys, that is it. This is all I have left. These are not on the website because literally we had, I want to say like 120 of these, and this was all was left from the Charlotte Quilt Show. So it was no need for Steve to do the work to put them on the website. If you want one of these, definitely it'll pop in the shop. If you are not local and it's on the website, once again, message us. It is $12.99 a panel. I do have a picture that Susan sent me where someone had bought numerous of these, put them in a quilt with a little bit of sashing. It was so adorable. But once again, even though the picture shows it one way, you can take the fabrics. There's enough fabric for you to mix and mingle exactly as you desire. One thing I want to point out before we go, she just done a little zigzag around all of her raw edges with, or not all of her raw edges, some of her raw edges, with a variegated thread. So cute. And she only did the ones on top because the ones on bottom is going to stay, right? Absolutely so much fun. Steve has a question. I can see it on his face.
Okay, so I've never done this before. So I understand the cutting out the shapes. You peel that off and
Yeah, once you draw your whichever section you want, whatever you've drawn on here, you're going to use your scissors. I recommend Karen K. Buckley because they're micro serrated edges on her scissors. You're going to cut that out. Once you've got it cut out, then you're going to pull this paper. Welcome to Serendipitous. You're going to pull this paper off. You can see it's kind of shiny, Steve. And then you literally put it on whatever, because it's going to fit. You cut it exact. And then put your iron, because this is double fusible is what this is. He's got a look on his face
very
like
cool.
fabulous.
I've heard everybody, talking about it. I've never actually seen that stuff. So you really don't even have to be a sewer, I don't guess, to do this.
You're so right. So at the Charlotte Quilt Show, it was so funny. People were coming through with kids that looked like they were bored out of their mind until they got to our booth. Kids were grabbing this up and going, Mom, can I have this? Can we do this? And buying multiples. One little girl bought several so her and her friends could have a fabric collage party. There's no sewing machine involved until you get to wherever you're taking it to or, doing your collage. So it is definitely fun. You could do this with a 2-year-old. You really, really could. What I love about it, it's one thing to give somebody this portion of the panel, right? But I think Delphine Brooks of Lewis and Irene was so smart to give you all of these pieces of whack fabric, if you will. You don't have to dig in your stash. You don't have to buy any new fabric. If you have this panel and a little bit of fusible, you are good to go. What do you think, Steve?
Very cool.
Very cool. Something I did not point out at the bottom, I did talk about the picture, but she does have instructions at the bottom, and then she has tips for a great finish as well. She really did think of everything, so thank you, Miss Delphine, and thank you, Lewis and Irene, for this. And guys, once they're gone, they're gone. She did do another grouping last year that was flowers and stuff. Those was really cute, but these animals I was obsessed with. I think that's it for now. As you can tell, I've had tons of Welcome to Serendipitous come in, so we've got a class getting ready to start. It is the intro to bag making with Allison Swink. That class did fill up really fast, guys. I hear you. There's more that wanted in. I have already talked to Allison. She is going to put that back on the schedule. So I've got to get off here, talk to the students, get their kits for them. Everything they need is in here. How convenient. Steve looks like he's got one more thing I'm forgetting.
Well, we had a few people to say hello. Yes. So Katie Interline.
Good morning, Miss Katie.
Linda, I am so going to butcher this. Linda Placatine, Harrod. I can't even, Linda.
Try, but Linda,
I am so sorry.
Good morning and chiming in.
She said those were very neat. And then Mary Ann Buckley Britton.
Yes, Mary Ann
says, way cool. And she was, I think she came in maybe a little late. What animals are there?
What animals are left? We have got the pig left. We've got the goat left, and we've got Mr. Rooster left. That is it. We had, I want to say, 7 or 8 in total. And these are the only 3 animals that I have left, and very limited at that, to be honest with you. I think there might only be 2 pigs, this one and the one I was demonstrating. And then I think the rest is the rooster and the goat. Yeah. Only 2 pigs left. Miss Mary Ann, Steve, you know her. She's the one that comes in and picks up our Project Linus blankets.
Okay, I knew the name was familiar.
Exactly. And just so you know, Mary Ann, since you're watching, our hamper got filled this week. So I'm sure next week, guys, everyone will be doing a trunk show for Project Linus. And then, of course, Miss Mary Ann will scoot down here and pick those up. Anybody else, Steve, with questions?
I think that's it. I feel like I need to apologize to Linda again. It was so... Growing up in the mountains, everybody had the same names, and so I struggle with names that I'm not familiar with.
Really cool, unique names.
My hooked on phonics is not working this morning. So,
guys, once again, thank you so much. Hope you have a blessed Saturday. Pop in the shop, see me, grab up some of these last ones. If you are not local, definitely shoot me a message. We'll get you taken care of.
Yes, and that was the answer to Mary's question. She said, can I order online? I'm out of town.
These are not on the website, Marianne, but if you put in the comments or message me, I will hold back what you want until you get in town. Not a problem. And if you are someone that doesn't live local and coming back into town, we'll shoot you an invoice or take your order over the phone. Guys, once again, I'm going to go get ready for class, and I thank you so much for tuning in and all the comments and the shares. I love it, love it, love it. I will see you soon. This is Lisa at Serendipitous, where unexpected happiness is truly found in every stitch. Bye, guys.